Here's a question from Ed from Ohio/Florida. So Ed lives in Florida and he has a rental property in Ohio. And the question is, how do you show your home when you live out of state? So fortunately, there are a lot of developments in recent years that can help with that. There are some services, all of these are partners of ours, which we call kind of a hybrid property management service. Often there'll be a flat fee per unit. And so there's Hemlane and Marble. And then in the Northwest, there's Rental Riff as well. And they're expanding. But these take up the space between a do-it-yourself property management software tool and full-service property managers. So Hemlane, for example, will connect you with a local realtor and facilitate that connection. Marble, I believe, has that available as well. And Rental Riff has a little different model where they have kind of people in the markets where they operate who are kind of handy people slash the local face of the rental. So that's a nice combination, I think, because you need people to be able to locally attend to renters' needs, and often there are things to fix. The other thing that's developing quickly and I think is going to be a bigger and bigger asset to landlords is the invention and evolution of smart locks. So Marble, which is rentmarble.com, by the way, uses a smart lock that they can program remotely. They can give time-sensitive access to people. People have to have their phone, which has a code that will give them access to the unit so that they can then tour it on their own. Now, before that, Marble has created a protocol for vetting anybody who goes to a property before they ever have the address, where there's upload of the photo ID. I believe there's a credit check. There's a credit card on file. And I believe they have a 6-point step-by-step process for vetting people. And, if you want to do this, there are lots of smart locks out there. They usually have a 9-volt battery, but they can either be a manual keypad that you program, and then you go back and you change that code when you're not showing it anymore, so inappropriate people don't have access. You can have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth enabled locks. You can make the changes remotely. I think a good way to go is anytime you're giving people access to a space when you're not there is to have cameras around. And I've set up Ring cameras. There are lots of different varieties, but I've set up Ring cameras around rental properties, and they're now pretty easy to install and much less expensive than a whole security system used to be. And along with that, I would recommend actually doing a tour with the potential tenant where you're on Zoom or FaceTime on their mobile device so that you can talk them through it as they walk through the property. And you can say, okay, well, no, over there, that's where the storage room is, or, this is where your packages would be delivered, and that type of thing. And along those lines, it's a really good idea to pre-vet people. Pre-screening is the term we use most. So that can take a couple forms. We recommend this no matter what your process is, whether it's in-person showings or not, that when you have contact with a potential renter, that you ask some vital questions right up front that will indicate to both parties whether or not this is likely to be a fit. So for me, it's just a very simple 4 questions. I ask, do you have any animals? And I don't say pets because I'd like them also to tell me if they have an emotional support animal. And do you or anybody who will be living at the space smoke or vape in any form? Do you earn X number of times the monthly rent? I use 2.5, but then I caveat that should be after any really large payments like a large car payment or student loans and that type of thing. And I think Chris uses a debt to income ratio. Maybe he can chime in on how he does that. And then more recently, I've started asking, when would you like to move? Because I found that if I forget to do that, and then all of a sudden I've got somebody who wants to move in 2 months, and they're looking at places now and that I have available now. So best not to waste anybody's time. And along with that, especially if you're virtually touring, it's a good idea to have a video tour that you put up. And on any listing, it really helps to have a video tour that you put up and that people can see for themselves. Is this something that really I'm interested in before they ever take any action to step ahead? So